No, not at the moment. That shouldn't be me. Oh, wait, I know what it is. I put on the ear cups over my Bluetooth headphones. That's what it is. You're hearing the. I'm an idiot. I've been talking for a couple of minutes and didn't even have my mic on. So, let's try this again. Welcome everybody. This is All or Zero. I'm going to be streaming Elite Dangerous for a little bit today. I'm trying to unlock which one? Engineers again. Uh, Bill Turner, who has a particular thing for Bromellite, as you can see. I've already made one small delivery of it, and that's just what I had collected the last time I went out resource hunting. So, what I intend to do today, since I found a Bromellite ring in this system that I was in, I'm gonna head on down and see if I can't collect some Bromellite for him. So, as I said, first things first, I'm gonna wait and see if the local pirate cabal scans me so they can be on their merry way. And then I will commence the jiggling, as it were. It's actually a really good excuse for me to show off all the new mining tools that they put in the game since the December 3.3 update that make acquiring money incredibly easy in this game. Alright, so pirates, whatever. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is switch my fire group to the one that I set up for... Oh, before I go too much further. This ship that I'm in is the Python, which has a pretty swanky profile. And yes, it's very glowy, as you can see. I do like that weird Crypsis skin that they have available. But I bought this ship specifically for mining just because it outfits so well for it. And while it doesn't exactly have the greatest jump range or top speed or maneuverability even, and that's my biggest issue with it sometimes is the maneuverability. It's great for cargo for a medium ship, and it's absolutely fantastic for mining because it's got a ton of inventory space, even with a full outfit of all the mining gear. So, first things first, I'm going to switch to my fire group with the pulse wave scanner on it, as you can see down there. Now, what the pulse wave scanner does is, since the update, there's special kinds of asteroids that will show up that when you fire off the pulse wave scanner will show up in glowing orange. These asteroids will usually have different mineral composition than all the ones around them. They'll usually have, different. They'll incorporate a lot of the new mechanics that are in the game. So just as a demonstration, I'll stop at that one. I'll stop at this one over here, and I'll fire off a prospector. And that's another thing that's changed since the update. Before, you used to, basically keep your hull full of prospectors at all times, and you used to be actively synthesizing more. After the update, generally, I don't run out of prospectors so much as I have to dump prospectors because you don't use nearly as many as you used to. So, as you can see, with the prospector fired off, there's a couple of different nodes on the asteroid. First one are surface deposits, which you use the abrasion blaster to kind of chip away at. And then the second type is subsurface deposits, which this one actually has what I'm looking for. So I'm going to change my fire group from the seismic launcher to the subsurface launcher. And in order to use the subsurface displacement missiles, you kind of align yourself with the target that you're looking at. And you just kind of hold the trigger down as you're firing it, and it'll drill into the asteroid. And when you see that bar on the bottom left hit a lit area, oh lord, hit a lit up area, you release, and it will extract the resources from that point. And I actually need to get a collector out here. I'm surprised I hit that. But anyway, the subsurface displacement missiles are pretty straightforward. Point, hold down until you get to one of the chunks that's in the deposit. Release when you pass over the lid area, and it will extract for you. And it varies how many chunks you'll get from each deposit. I've gotten as few as one to as many as I think six from the deepest one I ever saw. Really, really. But it seems like there's still a little more in here, so we'll pop that. And collector limpets are the greatest thing in the world. Everybody online in the Elite Dangerous community seems to give them Employee of the Month every month, and they pretty much deserve it. Because they take all the abuse and they do all the work. And if they weren't, we'd be doing this by hand, and nobody wants to collect minerals by hand. Terrible. And it looks like there was one more subsurface deposit on this asteroid, so let's go drill that one out. How about throw a spotlight on it? Yes, I am well aware that I am sandwiched in between two asteroids right now. That's part of the fun. Oh, damn it. That's what I get for trying to do too many things at once. I love how I'm trying to do this on stream and my normally immaculate aim is so far off, it's unreal. Oh. And of course, when it's empty, it disappears from your contacts list, so. But in any case, the Limpet Prospector down here in the left-hand panel on the bottom left of the screen will show you the general composition of the asteroid, not including the nodes and points of interest that are all over it. So this one has a 4% bromellite composition, which is way lower than I even care to bother with. So we're just gonna close up shop here and mosey on, try and find something a little more useful. Now, with the pulse wave scanner, like I said, it lights up all the asteroids that have the new game mechanics on them. So you can kind of use it as a reference to what it is you're looking for as you're flying around. But in general, the ones that you really want to keep an eye out for, and I'm getting better at spotting them, but I haven't become amazing at spotting them yet. Is the asteroids that glow like the sun. And when I find one, you'll know what I mean. They glow brighter than just about anything out here in this asteroid field, and actually, I think that's one right there. Well, I'll throw some prospectors out here anyway. .32% bromellite. Actually, what the heck? 7% water. What's left of this? Uh, Two subsurface bromellite deposits, so we'll go harvest those real. Actually, that's a subsurface deposit over there. Oops. Whatever, limpets are cheap. But once you get a feel for the tools, it's not too hard to use the subsurface deposit. Or the subsurface missile launcher. Last chunk, I think. Another one. It's funny because the last time I went out mining, I probably spent an hour out in the field, but I wasn't in a bromellite heavy hotspot. I was in a void opal hotspot because bromellite still shows up in icy rings. That was all I could find at the time, so I spent time looking for bromellite, but mining whatever else came my way. And I made almost $100 million and didn't come out of it with what I actually wanted in the end, which was 50 units of bromellite, 50 tons of bromellite. But this one, I've been here for how long have I been here? Maybe 10 minutes, and I'm already up to 10 tons of bromellite, which is great. So really must remind myself to close the cargo hatch when I get done. What I'm looking for out in this dark, cold expanse of nothingness is a crackable asteroid. And hopefully I find one of those, because that was kind of the whole reason I was doing this. Was I wanted to show off what breaking one of these things open looks like. Just water. Want. Like this one, you can already see the surface deposits on it. It's water, though. Alright, let's do some high-intensity driving. I want to find one of these, a crackable asteroid. A nice big juicy core deposit in it. It's weird that this game will give you a sense of vertigo and not all at the same time. I love playing it, and playing this game in VR is something else, let me tell you. Back for that one in a sec. Cool if I actually found two of these back. Ah, here we go. Okay, so bottom left corner where it tells you what the prospector has determined about the asteroid. It has a water composition of 8.22%. Material content is medium, but it has a core of bromellite. And what you're going to see now is all over the asteroid, it has these fissures that respond very, very well when you use the seismic charge launcher on them. So what I'm going to do is break this bad boy open and see if I can't collect some yummy bromellite. Alright, so asteroid fissures, obviously, as the name implies, are giant cracks all over the asteroid that you're going to be firing the seismic charges into. The seismic charge launcher has 3 levels of charge, low, medium, high. So all you have to do is match them to the level of charge that the fissure represents and fire away. So low, no holding, you just launch it. High strength. High strength. Oh, and the detonation yield bar up at the top right is what you're actively trying to keep an eye on. You want it to get into that sweet spot range where that yellow bar is. So you just keep filling the it's not the prospector. Just keep filling the asteroids fissures with mines until you get it to the sweet spot, and then you make it a point to beat feet because you don't want to be anywhere near this thing. Okay, see how it says detonation yield optimum range? That means that you are good to go, so you are going to want to put some distance between yourself and the asteroid. Usually 2.25 kilometers is enough. Yeah. So, now we get to watch the nice big pump. And so, wait. I almost feel like I should move the camera over to this monitor when I play Elite Dangerous because that's almost exclusively where I'm going to be looking. And this is the part that never, ever, ever gets old to me. Delicious resources. So first things first, if you look over at your contacts panel, now there's a ton of bromellite just floating around the atmosphere here. So our first job before we start looking at any of the nodes is to go collect all of that. What I'm going to do is park myself right above the asteroid field, or the asteroid that I just cracked. My limpets out and my cargo hatch open and let them deal with all that. Actually, I think I'll turn myself this way. But yeah, the first thing you're going to want to do is hoover up all this free-floating bromellite because, as you can see, it has a hull percentage. The lower that gets, the less yield you get from each chunk. Some people like to come out with an absolute massive amount of limpets that they can use for collection purposes. In general, it doesn't really seem to be necessary to have more than 2 out, except for when the limpets go a little south, because they're not particularly bright sometimes. But in general, 2 limpets out at a time will usually get you what you need. Although if I had 4 or 6, then, I'd be collecting this at a much quicker clip. Oh, they both died, haha. But yeah, each one of those chunks, if you collect them quick enough, is basically 1 ton of bromellite, and that's what we're looking. And this is the reason that farming in Elite Dangerous for money is so much easier than it used to be. Because the old way of doing things would be have your cargo hold full of limpets, So you can fire off prospector limpets at every asteroid that you run across. Grab a a set of collector limpets that, or have a ton of collector limpets available. That way you can hoover up all the chunks, and then using the mining laser, which I'm going to show you guys last after I get done with all of these. You oh, that's why all the chunks are in between. Yeah, I'm doing this the horribly inefficient way. There's still a ton of bromellite thing hull. I've already collected almost as much bromellite as I deposited that last time I went to see the engineer, and I only need 50 tons of it. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so no valid collection targets. So next we're going to switch over to the abrasion blaster and start chipping away at the surface deposit chunks that were exposed. So there's one right here. Wind up and fire, and let the collector limpets do the rest. Now, it used to be, when the patch first came out, that there was an exploitable accident that allowed every abrasion blaster shot that touched the node to produce a chunk. And I've never really been one for abusing exploits in games. I equipped the two abrasion blasters just for the symmetry of it, because I figured, be a little easier to hit. But even without that exploit, you still collect resources doing this so incredibly fast. I mean, as it stands right now, I'm already done collecting all the bromellite that I need, because I only needed, 22 chunks? He requests 50. So, hypothetically speaking, I'm done right now already. What I think I'm going to do, though, is go drop off the bromellite and maybe make one more trip. But as you can see, collector limpets are not particularly bright. They have this habit of running into things. I don't even know where that one went. I think it got stuck in the asteroid. Actually, since I'm here anyway. Here's a little tip that I've picked up. I'm sure other people have said it before, but when you make a bookmark, mark if the system name isn't apparent in the bookmark, write in the system and then write in a description of why you bookmarked this place. because that will be useful if you ever decide to do mining missions, because a lot of mining missions do request Bromellite, and having somewhere that you can go relatively quickly to pick it up will make your life a lot easier. Oops. All right, now I know I saw another asteroid over here that kind of warm. Yeah, usually the asteroids you want to keep an eye out for are the ones that just glow really, really bright by comparison to everything else around. They stand out, believe me. Once you get an eye for it, you'll pretty much never miss them. Oh, by the way, I would like to take this opportunity to shamelessly plug the fact that Elite is still on sale. So if you haven't bought it yet and you're interested, I believe it's on sale directly from Frontier Development's website for $14.99, or if you're in the giving mode, you can buy it off Humble Bundle. I think has it on sale as well for the same price. I think that's something I was looking. Another thing that they added that made hunting in these ice fields a little easier, especially if you're on the dark side of the planet, is the night vision mode. So it's a lot easier to not smack into things in the dark. And it's also a lot easier to read the shapes of the asteroids as you're flying around. Lots of nice little tools that they added. You look suspect. But you are not a crackable asteroid. It looks suspect. Well, in any case, I don't need more Bromellite right now, so how about we pack up shop and go make this delivery? It's funny, I don't think I've bookmarked him. That's another thing I need to get the ship engineered. Oh, Now, this to me seems incredibly dangerous, and I don't know why the game allows you to do it, but I'm sure there's like an in-universe lore reason for it. But this seems incredibly dangerous. I'm talking crashing the Millennium Falcon into a planet tier dangerous. Because all it would take is one of those rocks to be in your way at the wrong angle, and that would be it for your ship. But hey, the game allows it, so I'm just gonna play the game, as it were. I know my ship already glows in the dark as it is. I don't need more lights on, but I just passed where I was going, didn't I? That's what I get for stopping to take pictures. Wait, no, that's not where I was going. So I set cruise control, and I will just myself with the chat for a few minutes. I don't think anybody's really out there watching, but if anybody is out there watching, hello chat. I am paying attention, I promise. No, it's funny. I just realized that my live stream isn't auto tweeting everybody anymore. But too fast. Ah. And now I get to do this the old-fashioned way because I didn't want to slow down. Game is absolutely gorgeous. Pardon me a moment, folks. My apologies. Have I hit the ground yet? I don't think I've hit the ground. Nope. Still got a long way to go before that. I really need to engineer this ship a little. I actually don't even remember what Bill Turner's thing is as far as engineering. Plasma accelerators and utilities, which is vague enough that I'm curious. I love the subtle effects of your ship venting the heat from you using your boosters. Guess I should probably stop boosting. I know the Python definitely isn't made for maneuvering like this. And in a real world setting, a ship of this size moving like this would probably rip itself asunder just from the G forces being exerted on it as your. But again, is game, play game. Couldn't ask for a better landing. And now let's see what Bill Turner has to offer as far as engineering, because I'm really curious. I don't know. Basics out of the way first. Alright, so surface scanners. Oh, okay, so utilities, got it. Probe radius. Shielded. Life support. Fuel scoops. I'm surprised there isn't one for extended scooping capacity, because that would make some smaller ships a lot happier if they could. So he'll do class 5 sensors. On RNGesus. 7. 0.98, I'll take that. Enter. 21.9 is probably the closest I'm gonna get. Now here's a real question: which of these they have anybody else who does these kind of? He's not far enough away that I wouldn't be able to just drive over. Seller. Okay, now which of these do I really in this? This is the one that I really handy for my Explorer. I do most of my scanning in that. So yeah, just random stuff. In any case, now that I've unlocked Bill Turner, some to that's the problem with upgrades is that after a certain point, you need to start doing the higher end upgrades because you're I don't even know where you get the case. That's one unlock. What he's probably going to end up being like all the other engineers, where for whatever reason, even though they have a specialty, they don't actually sell any of the stuff, or they don't sell the best version of any of the stuff that they specialize in. They don't actually sell any of this. Forever. Let's get up to the tier. Yeah, 50% expanded. Really nice when I'm out there doing scans. I'll make it go by a lot quicker. nothing else. Still have 60 limpets. %84 Tycoon, 90% Pathfinder. I just realized he doesn't. Is my ship here? Oh yeah, that's right. Uh, 'Alright, so let's go pick up my pride and joy and go sightseeing. 2-4. Out of this orbital. Okay. Not cruise control, but Now we can put. You know, the really funny thing about this streaming Elite Dangerous, I mean, unless you're really, really into PvP, do bounty hunting, this game is incredibly boring to watch somebody else play. But I am so thoroughly engrossed with it just because I love going out and seeing the stars all the time that I can sit here and play this for hours at a time myself. But it's not really something that I could see live streaming unless you're doing, you know, or videos or something like that. So I'm not really sure how much I'll stream this unless, you know, I start hearing from people that they want to see me do of it, which would be. But I'm always open to suggestions, so feel free, you know, give me a shout, let me know on Twitter, or even leave feedback in the comments on any of these videos. If you like watching me relax and do things in Elite Dangerous, maybe I'll try and make a thing of it. And I had an idea I was kicking around, I just hadn't really fleshed it out any, so it's always a possibility that it becomes a regular thing on my channel or not. We'll see. As far as my regular streams, though, I'll probably be getting back to Secret of Mana tomorrow. Seems like a good day for it. I would do it today, but I actually have some errands I need to run. So I'm not going to be doing this for a whole lot longer, I don't think. But definitely tomorrow I'll get up bright and early and make a go of Secret of Mana. I don't know how long it's going to take, but my intent for the next stream is going to be going through all of the Empire and the next two palaces. So that would be the Empire, and then let's see, Empire, and then you go to it's a secret, and then you go to one of three palaces actually. So maybe I'll do three palaces uh, after the Empire. See, we'll see how I feel about it. I will break for meals, of course. But I'll try to keep that to a minimum. So I'll get up early and I'll eat and play some Secret of Mana all alone. All right, find myself this control scheme thing for that. Yaka. Okay, first things first, we need to pare down the amount of limpets. I don't usually a hull full of limpets. keep about half my bits in the ship. Still have not pledged myself to a faction, but that's my own choice. Mm, more than 20%, so I'll take it. That's all I can take in the meantime, anyway. Uh, Counter. I mean, I guess I could go on a sightseeing tour. That silvers. Get that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could just pick a random spot and go there. I mean, I have done 1,000 light years. Jumping. It'll take a while. Especially if I'm scanning all the. There's nothing out here. I could make it a short spur. It's out there. It's 3,000 light. Traveled before. Boy, yeah, I want to. It's almost nothing. That's only 54,000 light years. It's not like it's far or anything. What's the difference, the distance between it and its next jump? Because that's the problem that you start running into when you go to some of these really far flung places. There just isn't near them. It's the abyss. This is right. Why? One of these days. Bubble is so tiny and insignificant. I guess I could take a trip to Barnard's. Seem to be a whole lot out here. See, all of these places require a permit. Permit. I can't actually go. Places don't. Long trip. Gotta run out of gas long before I get there. 57 jumps? That's not terrible. Yeah, I'll do that later. Pick a place, go there. 57 jumps. Not super far. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go grab myself something. Um, like I said, if you do find watching me play this interesting, feel free to let me know because I'm always curious as to how people take my streams. Um, I know everybody in the world's out there playing Kingdom Hearts and probably streaming it, spazzing out, but Kingdom Hearts isn't my thing, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And with that, I'm going to say adieu and have a nice afternoon. Later, guys.